Now, let's have a look at the process and stages of awakening. Now, you could say that actual spiritual awakening is just a first step on the long path to enlightenment. Indeed, the initial awakening may happen in just a moment, but the process has many stages which we have to go through. And the following signs is as first. Number 1, the spiritual awakening, as KJ explains. This is the beginning of your spiritual journey. As you start to question everything you once knew, you begin to clear certain things out of your life, like, for instance, habits, relationships, old belief systems, etc., etc. And you invite new, more enriching things in. You may feel like something is missing, but you just haven't quite figured it out yet. It's like you keep on searching and you don't know what you're looking for. During this phase, it is common to feel lost, confused, and down. The number 2, the dark night of the soul. The second stage of spiritual awakening is kind of what it sounds like, a very rough patch, the lowest patch. In fact, in many ways, this is when your soul is recalibrating, stripping away all the aspects of the ego. It is very challenging, but once you hit rock bottom, there are nowhere to go but up, forcing you to make a real change. Number 2, the sponge. Now, this is one that I truly enjoy. Once you have made it through the dark night soul, you're ready to begin to creating your new and improved awakened life. Now, in the third phase, it is all about trying things for size and exploring. Kaiser says you begin branching out, trying different hobbies, religions, relationships, etc., etc., etc. As you figure out what your meshes with your spirit, which basically gels with your spirit. Now, the Satru self, also known as the true self, as Kaiser explains as well, the Satra in Chinese Buddhist term for awakening or comparison, derived from the Japanese verb satru. In the Zen Buddhist tradition, it is referred to the kichu, or seeing into one's true nature. In this phase, you begin not only to recognize, but to honor and embody your true nature through your gifts, skills, and talents. Moving on to step 5. Now, this is also step 5 is when everyone is so confused. That is the soul sessions. Think you've reached enlightenment yet? Not quite at this stage. The first stage, which Keija refers to as the soul sessions, can take some time. You are building the actual structure in life through which your true spirit can obviously strive. Now, this can take some trial and error and lots of different strategies. During this time frame, which can take years, even decades, by the way, your soul is growing and healing as you discover the routines and rituals that work for you. Now, rituals is not necessarily spiritual. A ritual is waking up, taking your kids to school, coming back, eating, sleep. That's a ritual. Then the surrender. The second last step in the awakening process is surrendering. Is all about releasing any remaining structures and belief or faiths of the ego that's keeping you from your truth self. But at this point, you've gotten to know your soul. You figured out a lifestyle that works for you, but there may still be people or habits that hold you back. This is where you will release them so that you can fully step into your power or your ability of being your true self. Now, the last one is awareness and services. And finally, we have awareness and services. Kaiser says it's the full awareness of your own divinity in every moment. So as you flow through life with grace and clarity, you live in service to other, which brings you to great happiness and contentment. That is the 7 things that you can deal with, or the 7 steps that you are working with during your spiritual awakening. I hope that was helpful, and now you can determine where are you in the spiritual awakening line.